Yo, look how happy Grady is for baseball to be back. Check this out. Grady, you happy? Nah, he doesn't like when I make videos because I'm so loud. What's going on, everyone? It's Fuzzy. Welcome back to yet another MLB Recap. Baseball is officially back in 2 days. We are getting live action. I'm so excited to see Corey Kluber make his debut for the Yankees, and the same for Trevor Bauer with the Dodgers and everyone else that changed teams in the offseason. I cannot wait. We have a lot to talk about today, including Corey Kluber's teammates, or should I say future teammate, Jasson Dominguez. He is looking like a bust to a lot of people, so we'll talk about that in a second. Kris Bryant, he might be heading to the Mets because he got a text that says, welcome to the Mets, so we'll go ahead and deep dive into that in a minute. And then also Corey Seager, he was asked about a contract extension and he declined to give an answer. So what does that mean for Dodgers fans? I don't know. Now, before we get into that, the reason why I'm rocking out with an Orioles hat is because Trey Mancini is back. He is healthy, he is swinging the bat, and he looks amazing, might I say, because a year ago he was diagnosed with cancer. He overcame it. He's back, and I'm just so happy for him because when Trey Mancini is raking, he is one of the most dangerous hitters in all of baseball. So the Orioles, they're definitely going to need him if they want to stay even a 60 to 70 win team, which is that going to happen? Do you think that the Baltimore Orioles are going to win 70 games? Mountcastle is really good. They have Mancini back in that lineup, and I mean, maybe they call up Adley Rutschman. Who knows? So we all know that Adley Rutschman is one of the more coveted prospects in all of baseball, but in my opinion, the number one prospect, aside from Wander Franco, because he's a little bit older, so he's more big league ready, the Martian, Jasson Dominguez. He is being compared as the next Mike Trout, but a switch-hitting Mike Trout. And everyone's saying he's the next Mickey Mantle because Mickey Mantle was essentially a switch-hitting Mike Trout. That's how good he was. He was quick, he had power, he was pretty good at defense. Now, there's a clip floating around of Jasson looking like Gary Sanchez from 2020, and I say that because he is whiffing a ton, and also between the stance, the leg kick, and the one-arm follow-through, he actually does look like Gary Sanchez. Now, I don't think that he's going to be as bad as Sanchez was a year ago, but to me, this doesn't really look... I mean, he's a kid, he's 18 years old, so I'm going to cut him some slack. But the one thing that no one is talking about, what about that pitcher? That pitcher looks absolutely disgusting. He looks like a shorter version of Aroldis Chapman. I mean, the Phillies, they should get on the phone right now and get this guy's number because... I mean, he's making Jasson look stupid. Either way, we're going to stick with the Yankees because Domingo Germán, he came out and apologized to both his teammates and the media, and then Luke Voit actually spoke on it. He does not condone it, and he also mentioned that the guys on the team, we saw this a few days ago, Zach Britton said that he can't control who his teammate is and that he doesn't see Domingo Germán as a good person because of what he did off the field. And Luke Voit pretty much backed that up by saying, hey, some guys on the team don't look at him the same way. They view him as a different person because of what he did. And there's not really much that you can do because there are certain things and certain lines that you can't cross. And when you do, it's pretty much a done deal. Like, you can ask for forgiveness and maybe get it, but they're never going to trust you. And because we're talking about Luke Voit, this just popped up on my Twitter timeline. He just went yard off Corey Kluber on the first pitch that Kluber threw to him. So just the sound of a baseball cracking off the bat. I am so excited for it to be back in 2 days. I am over the moon. Poor Kris Bryant, the dude cannot catch a break. In 2020, he was one of the worst hitters in baseball. He's been on the trading block for 2 consecutive, maybe even 3 consecutive off seasons in a row. And now he wakes up to a text, or I don't know if he woke up to it or it just came to his phone, saying, welcome to the Mets. And he was very confused, and rightfully so. So he got on the phone with his agent, and Scott Boras said, nope, you're still in the Cubs. And then he called Jed Hoyer, the brand new GM of the Cubs, and he says, nope, that is completely false. But I mean, take it from him because he reacted to it.
The New York Mets one or something?
Yeah. So I got a text like that weekend, welcome to the Mets. So I'm like, oh, well, what? It was a Connecticut number. I have no clue who it was. So then I obviously called my agent, and he calls them and he said there's nothing going on. So like I said, I mean, I've been answering these questions for 3 years now. So if there's, I guess maybe I've added more content for you guys, but go back to all the other stuff I said in the past and you can go ahead and write all that. But, I think I'm in a really good place in terms of dealing with that stuff now. And there's really nothing, else to say for me to say about any of that.
I've heard nothing but amazing things about Kris Bryant, and it seems like he's coming into 2021 with a chip on his shoulder. He's always been very polite, almost overly polite, but he seems like he is done being the nice guy. And same with Mike Trout. They're coming in a little bit angry and a little bit sick and tired of being labeled as Mike Trout can't make the playoffs or Kris Bryant, he is a bust. So to me, if we get an angry Kris Bryant and Mike Trout in the same season, and Bryce Harper, we'll talk about him in just a second, he's also feeling very confident. Yo, this could be a crazy year for breakout seasons from players that, have been superstar names for quite some time, but maybe we get the best out of them this year because there's some rage behind it. That would be crazy. The 2020 World Series MVP Corey Seager was asked a question about signing an extension with the Dodgers, and he simply said, next question. That usually sparks up a lot of controversy because if you're not going to answer the question, does that mean that you're having doubts about your future with the squad? Now, luckily for Dodgers fans, you can kind of rejoice in the fact that in the follow-up question, he says that the reason why he's not going to make a comment on that question of signing an extension is that he does not want to be a distraction. However, I don't really understand how that's a distraction to the team because he's the World Series MVP. He's on the team currently. I mean, I understand why he said it, but I just don't see why he wouldn't say, yo, I want to be a Dodger forever. I mean, isn't that the normal response? But regardless, if you're a Dodgers fan, let me know in the comment section down below. Would you rather have Corey Seager for the next few years, or maybe you trade for someone and Gavin Lux plays second base and you save some money? Let me know, because you're way over the luxury tax. Now, speaking of contract extensions, Shane Bieber, this was such... I smiled from ear to ear when I saw that he came out this morning and said that he would love to enter contract extension talks with the Cleveland baseball team. And you guys are so mean on Twitter. I can't even post this article without people saying, oh, that just means that he's about to get a, fat contract from the Mets or that he's going to get traded soon. Can I just have one happy morning as a Cleveland fan? Please? Just one. That's all I'm asking for. God, you guys are mean. Moving on over to Bryce Harper, he is saying that the National League East is by far the best division in Major League Baseball, and he might be onto something, truly. The Mets, the Braves, the Nationals are new and improved, the Phillies are better than they were a year ago, and then the Marlins made the playoffs. Now, sure, it might have been a magical run, and maybe they won't be able to repeat, but you're talking about 5 potential playoff teams, and again, I know the jokes are the Phillies are a 4th place team, the Phillies are a 5th place team going into 2021, but they've made a few key additions to the bullpen. I believe that they're going to be healthier in that lineup with getting Andrew McCutchen back. Hoskins was raking towards the end of the season, and Bryce Harper, the dude had an almost 960 OPS, so he was raking last year. He just had a little bit of a slump, which is crazy. When you have a slump and still finish a 60-game stretch with an above 900 OPS, you're the real deal. So if I hear any more Bryce Harper slander, I'm coming for you. And last but not least, I wanted to give another round of applause to Vladimir Guerrero Jr. as he officially lost 42 pounds over the offseason. I'm going to throw up this picture right here because he is looking mean. He was vocal about how embarrassed he was coming into last offseason, and he was not trying to have that happen again. He was sitting at home just kind of looking at his tub. Do you ever just look at yourself in the mirror or look at yourself in the chair like, what is all this tub? I know I've been doing that very recently, and I finally got some workout equipment. I'm eating better. We're losing some weight, and Vladimir Guerrero Jr., honestly, he's inspired me to do that. So, hey, let's all lose some weight. Let's all be the best version of ourselves. All right, well, that pretty much does it for today's MLB recap. Thank you all so much for stopping by yet again. Remember to leave a comment in the comment section down below of whether or not you think that Jasson Dominguez is going to be a bust. What do you make of Corey Seager declining the talks about a contract extension? To me, while it is a kind of big deal because he's saying no comment, I understand when he says, I don't want to be a distraction. However, you're Corey freaking Seager. If you say that you want to be a Dodger forever, it's going to happen. So kind of throw it out there, get your money, although the luxury tax is kind of an issue. But thank you all so much for watching. Stay safe out there. And also, Trey Mancini, we're happy to have you back, man. Peace out, guys.